All right, so I've told my trading journey, how I got here many times during open houses, but today is a bit more special for me because I get to add to that story and you are a part of it. So let me start by telling you a quick story of how I got here. So before I got into trading, I was in the apparel business. I ran a shop out in downtown LA in the fashion district with my wife, Janet. That's her in the picture. And that's my Beagle Jarvis just chilling on the floor there. And we were wholesalers, which means retail shops come into our store, buy our clothes in bulk, and they mark up the price and resell them to you. We also did private labeling, and we mostly focused on women's apparel. And money was okay, but to be honest, I hated this business. Yes, it was quick cash, but so many things have to go right all the time, from keeping the fabric consistent, the cutting, the sewing, the shipping. Then the vendors are fighting you for every penny all the time. And for me, having no interest in fashion and just being in this for the money, I wanted something more. So I started to look into how I can invest the money we were making, looking for passive income to hopefully get me out. So my search began. I started attending a bunch of seminars, buying all kinds of courses from real estate investing, drop shipping, entrepreneurship, and none of which really worked out for me. And I spent about $40,000 on these courses until I came across one of Sami's webinars back in 2019. It was for a mentorship program on day trading, which I didn't know anything about. And it was going to be a week long. It was a live training event out in Chicago. And by this time, I'm pretty skeptical about what anyone has to sell me, right? But what was different with Sami was that he was very transparent. He showed his P&L statements, he showed proof to back up everything he was saying. But what intrigued me the most was he was going to trade live in front of us for that entire week. Because all of the other courses I've taken, I haven't been to a single one where the teacher shows us applying the material in the real world, right? He was actually practicing what he was preaching in real time. So I was very interested and thought to myself, I'm going to give this one last chance with whatever this day trading thing is. And I swiped my card again. So, June of 2019, I flew out to Chicago for the mentorship. It was at some computer learning center. There were like 12 to 13 of us, I think. And we all got to have our own trading station, which was pretty cool. And for that entire week, it was a full crash course on day trading. So the class would start like an hour and a half or so before the open, and we'd review, started scanning for gaps and learn how to analyze those gaps. Then we trade the open, and there would be like a lecture or some sort of lesson. Then maybe do some more trading, applying what we just learned before going out to lunch all together. Lots of great conversations there. And then we would come back for some more live trading. And the best part was this is me just walking up to Sami's desk whenever and seeing pretty much the master at work, right? I can see exactly how he's trading, what buttons he's pressing, how he's scanning for that entire week. I mean, it was one of the most eye opening experiences I've ever had. And after the market would close, we do some more lectures and lessons until like 5 p.m. So it was all day of learning and live trading. And we did that pretty much every single day for that week. And I was hooked. I mean, everything Sami was saying and teaching just clicked with me. And I would spend the rest of each night reviewing, rewatching videos in my hotel room, And by the end of it, uh, that you can see, looks like we just had a very long weekend in Vegas. And on the right picture, this was our last lunch together before going home. And I'm dead serious. If I knew Sammy was going to end up paying, I would have ordered two steaks that day. But this was one of the best learning experience I've ever had. And on the plane ride home, I realized I found my passion. And I knew this is what I wanted to do and was willing to do whatever it takes to make this work. And so that following morning, or that following Monday, I should say, I already had ordered new monitors during the mentorship, and I made my setup just like Sammy's and showed up to this exact same chat room you're in right now every day since and worked my ass off. And about 5 months later, I guess I was doing something right because Sammy himself reached out to me asking me to be a moderator, which I thought was crazy because just 5 months ago, I didn't even know what day trading was. So there was no way I was going to be in the spotlight, calling plays, teaching, and helping the room make money. So I initially turned down his offer because I just didn't feel comfortable with doing all that. And that same night, I remember it as if it happened like 5 minutes ago. I was actually in Vegas that weekend. And that night, these exact words came into my head. When is success ever supposed to feel comfortable, right? Doing what's uncomfortable for us is what makes us grow. And this being a once in a lifetime opportunity, I said I would do whatever it takes to make this work. And now here's my chance. So I quickly changed my mind. And the very next morning, I told him, you know what? I'll do it. I'm in 100%. So he helped me get all set up with the mic and camera and everything. And a lot happened during that time in my life. We just had our first son, Tyson. We just bought our first house and moved in. And now I was officially changing careers. So it was a very exhilarating and scary time for me, but it really forced me to bring my A plus game every day. And being a moderator helped really accelerate my growth as a trader. Then, about 4 months later, March of 2020, I was able to make $40,000 just in that month, risking 200 bucks per trade, which is interesting because remember, that's how much I spent on all those other courses, right? So this felt like a sign saying, you finally found what you're looking for. So here's your money back. Now, I still went through a lot of mistakes, which I feel was necessary. But from then on is when I kind of started to see some money doing this. Then at the end of 2021 of December is when I started my YouTube channel that focuses on day trading with lessons, live trading, and day in the life videos just to get even more out of my comfort zone. So that's been a lot of fun so far. And that following year, so 2022, last year, I ended up making over $400,000 that year, which I tracked and showed all on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. And here we are today, hitting my fourth anniversary as a moderator. And I've been talking to Sami and T3, and we all decided to bring back that mentorship, the same one that I took, but teach it together. I think it's been a couple of years since his last mentorship, but it's pretty cool for this to come in a full circle for me to kind of get this opportunity to teach others with him. It's going to be a real honor and possibly change someone's life like how Sami changed mine. So I'm always so thankful to have met Sami. So thankful that I didn't give up and kept searching for my passion. And now I have the chance to pass that along to you. And if I can just change even one person's life, that gives meaning to all of this because, as Sammy has mentioned in the past, day trading isn't a profession that really benefits our society like some of the other professions do, right? But this does. Yes, trading is my passion, but I mean, it gives me the freedom that I want. But teaching and giving that to someone else gives me purpose. So I don't know how many spots are left, but I would check with Amber if you're interested. And I'm just going to open up the rest of the time here for some questions if you have any. So anything goes, you can ask away. Okay. Okay. 7 spots left. Wow. Bogatti. Um, I mean, really? That's if so, that is amazing. That means a lot. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so Gabriel, is there anything you taught or anything you taught Sammy or some edge you got yourself, or do you trade exactly like Sammy but just catch different stocks? Yeah, so definitely everything I learned from Sammy. There's no strategy that I came up with myself. But I would say yes, I mean, we all have to find our own style of trading, right? So yes, I even though we do trade the same methodology, like there's plays that he takes that I might not take, and there's plays that I take that he might not take. So it's just a way of being able to just knowing the methodology and then catering that to whatever fits your own style. But in terms of strategy, we all trade the same thing. Okay. And then why are you not doing it in person this time? Yeah, good question, Lauren. So I think this is like the first one we're just kind of doing together. And, the in person one, you got to think about, it's going to be an entire week. So that's 7 days of hotel, airfare, food, um, just all of that would probably increase the price of the mentorship, which will make it a little bit more difficult. So let's just try to get this one out first, like just the online one, and then we'll see how this one goes, um, and then go from there. Okay. And then we also have to find a venue, right, to fit everybody in there with computers and internet. So I think, yeah, it makes it a little bit more challenging, but I mean, I definitely do want to do it in person. I prefer to do it in person actually, because I think it would just be much more fun because I actually miss it. If I could take the mentorship, I actually would because it was just so fun just trading with Sammy and meeting other traders, right? Like-minded individuals and just being in the same room and just having the same or having the conversations because I mean, honestly, I don't know a lot of day traders like personally. Like the only day traders I know is everyone in this room. So it's hard to kind of talk about these things like outside of like market hours, right, with other people. So yes, I agree though that I do want to do it in person. It's one of these days. And then um, hold on, I need to scroll up or I need to turn it off. Okay, LW, what was the key? Hold on, let me try to turn off the scroll button. I forgot how to do it. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, so what was the key to your trading success? Um, yeah, good question. I think for me, like if I think about it, if I look back at it now, like when I attended the mentorship, I knew nothing about day trading. So I pretty much showed up with a blank canvas, right? While the other traders, they all had some sort of belief or other strategies that they had that might have clashed with what was being taught, kind of thing, right? So I don't know if that was it, that made it easier for me to kind of follow along the methodology. And then you add in the work ethic, and then I think that just kind of helped me kind of accelerate more. And then the moderator, that thing where I had to, when I was put on the spotlight, that really made me, put in, making sure I know what I'm talking about, right? So that's when I really amp things up. I mean, when I would go to the gym, I'm not listening to music anymore. I'm listening to Sammy's voice, right? He's the courses that I'm rewatching those. I'm listening to those in the car. I'm listening to everything that he's talking about. So yeah, I was living and breathing pretty much um, this methodology. So I don't know. I think it's just work ethic, to be honest. It's just work ethic. And then Arif, my son is listening. He wants to know your daily routine, what time you start pre-market prep, and what you do to get ready. Yeah, so I wake up probably around 4:30, and then I pretty much get ready, wash up, and then that's when I turn on the system, and that's when I start putting together the gaps list. And then Sammy puts his gaps list together. GB also puts his gaps list, and then we have like a shared spreadsheet that we all just kind of combine. And then Sammy kind of narrows it down, and then he makes the final list, which he puts out in the room. And during that time, I'm organizing my charts, my thumbnail charts, after going through each single gap one by one, analyzing them, sorting them to my favorites, what to watch for later. And then the market open, that's when we start trading. And then, yeah, and then till probably, yeah, and then lunch, I'm usually, if it's not busy, like during this time, I'll be probably hitting the gym, which is right in my backyard, just kind of going back and forth between my office and the gym. And then, yeah, just trading for the rest of the day. And then that's pretty much the day. And then after, whether it's some work I have to do or some errands I have to run or watching Tyson, whatever it is. But you can also find out in my YouTube channel. I actually recently did a full week of my life, Monday through Sunday. So that pretty much how my week goes, minus like the weekend stuff that may change. Okay. And then D1, have you found that other traders trust you more now? Um, what do you mean, like trust me, or like because of the YouTube thing, maybe? So I mean, yeah, that's one thing about why, or like what I decided to do differently with the YouTube, because I've seen other traders out there. Most of them are selling stuff, right? Which is fine, but not a lot of them are very open and showing a lot of live trading and their P&Ls. So if you look at some of their comments, like half of them may believe them, the other half may be thinking, oh, this guy is just here selling courses. And I didn't want that line to be blurred. I wanted to make it fact that I know what I'm doing and I'm actually showing proof that I am making money. So that's kind of what I did differently. So if you go to my comments, it's totally like I rarely get those. I mean, now that my subscribers has increased, you do get some of those trolls, which I don't care. But yeah, there's no mistake. If you've been following me, there's no mistake that this is real. And then Elias, can you please share your YouTube channel? Yeah, it's James Rich Young. It's just you just type in the name James Rich Young and you'll probably find it. Okay. All right. And LW is a live Zoom. Yes. So it's probably going to be, yeah, it'll be online. I think it's through Zoom. I'm pretty sure. And I think, yeah, we're only opening up to 20 people. So there's only 7 spots left. Will it be like the TPM course? So TPM course is one of the things that will be taught. So it's going to be just 7 days of education, live trading. So it's going to start on January 6th to 12th. So 6th is a Saturday. So I think Saturday, Sunday, we're just going to focus on education. And then on Monday, that's when we'll kind of apply that throughout the week and then do a lot of lectures and lessons in between, coaching, things like that. Okay. So TPM course, advanced gap strategy, you're gonna get them all. Do you do longer term trading too? Swing position or swing and position? Yeah. So I do the swing trading. I mean, I'm in the swing trading room with Sami, so I follow a lot of his calls. Like I don't. I'll admit, like I don't do a lot of swing trading in terms of like scanning and things like that. Like if I see during the day trading, like I see something, like there's times I do get in as a swing. But for the most part, I mostly rely on Sammy's list. But yes, I do swing trading. Then Jeff, one of the things you said that Sammy doesn't is short penny stocks, and you're a master. Oh, okay. So that's from the prior questions. That's something. Yeah, you're right. So shorting penny stocks, I guess. I think if, but it's just because E Trade doesn't allow shorting penny stocks. I'm sure if he had that availability, like he'll be doing it with me. So I don't think it's more of he's staying away because it's not something for him. I think it's just because E Trade doesn't allow shorting penny stocks, is what it is. Then Daniel, I'm a fellow West Coaster. I really like the 6:30 open here. We are done at 1 and have the rest of the day. Exactly. Yep. I totally agree. I don't think, I mean, I would love to leave California, to be honest, because of I mean, that's another discussion. But yeah, I love the time zone here, though. I love waking up early, getting the work done, and then having pretty much the rest of the day to do whatever, right? And that 1 p.m. Could if it's a free day, I'm usually going to the movies or taking my son to Universal Studios, and yeah, it's nice and avoiding crowds. Totally agree. Uh, okay, so what's the format? So like, I mean, how for the Zoom, or I'll get back to that. And then Craig, when you started trading full time, if I may ask, what was your starting funded account? I'm into the swing trading, but I have a small account. My account currently is just able to day trade. I'm risk focused in my trading. Love the swing ideas from Sammy. Now thinking about day trading process, you are talking about gaps and so on. Yes. So um, my starting account was 30,000, but I was only trading using 5,000 of that. So the reason I had 30,000 in there was because 25,000 is the minimum requirement to bypass the PDT rule. So I just had that so that yeah, I can bypass it, and then the 5,000 was only used for trading. So I was risking $50 per trade, which was pretty much 1% of the 5,000, and that's kind of how I started. LW, so you had no process or routine. What do you mean? Or rules for if you could expand on that. And then JM, did you ever have an aha moment when the light bulb turned on? If so, describe. I think the aha moment was that March of 2020. When I made the 40,000. That's when I first started to scalp. So you know how I said you got to find your own style of trading. And when I found out scalping and how what that was and just how I got better at it, that was like my aha moment thinking, okay, like the scalping is going to be my bread and butter. Like this is what I love doing in terms of trading. So I mean if you were to lay out every single strategy out there and they all worked all the time, I would pick scalping, like hands down. That's for me, you know? So I think that was kind of like the aha moment for me in terms of finding what I like to do. Okay. Um, oh, thanks, Lorenzo. And JM, when everything clicked in trading. Oh, so like when everything clicked in, yeah, so that exactly. And then Man Vinder, Dear James, account sizes used to make 40,000 and account size you were using off of 400,000 was all day trading with swing trading. Yes, I mean the 400,000 last year, I think I started with 150. So I only had 150 in my account, or even yeah, it was 150. And then when I made the 40,000 that month, I don't even remember. It had to have been less than 100K because I mean, really, account size doesn't matter. It's more on what you're risking. Um, so yeah, with the $200 risk, I was able to make 40K. But then that was kind of a different time because that was during the pandemic, right? So then a lot of things were falling apart and a lot of things were working really well. I mean, you could close your eyes and short something and you'll make money. Um, so yeah, that was I missed those times. But yeah, if I knew what I knew today during that time, it would have been definitely probably another zero or I don't know. Um, Lorenzo, how do you manage emotions during trading? So how I started, I know this is kind of a huge like a hump to get over for a lot of the new traders is like the emotional aspect of it. So what I did was I pretty much made like a management plan. Okay, so a management plan is something that you write out just like your trading plan in detail how you are going to manage every single trade. Okay. And what that allows yourself to do is to not go by your emotions, right? So it's not just randomly you're going by your feel, but you're looking at a sheet of paper with directions saying, okay, this is what I need to do now, right? Think of it as if you're like on a diet. And let's say I go to the buffet, but I'm on a diet, but I have no meal plan. Like I just go in there hungry. What's going to happen? I might get a little bit of this, get a little bit of that. I may start, you know, eating the fried stuff. I mean, who knows? But if I go in there already looked at the menu, looked at the nutritional facts, looked at the calories, and say, okay, I'm gonna have 6 pieces of this, I'm gonna have 1 cup of rice, and then some of this veggies in the salad section. Boom. Now you have a plan. You walk in there, no matter how hungry you are, all it takes is discipline to walk in there, get the food that you have on your meal plan, sit down and then eat that and then bounce, right? Get out. So that's kind of how I started and learning about how to control my emotions because it's not about getting rid of those emotions, right? Because I mean, we're not robots. Only thing we need to do is learn some discipline and follow directions and know how to just control those emotions. So I think so I would highly recommend you list out or write down a management plan in detail and just follow that in the afternoon session. Okay. And then you can kind of base it off of that. Use that as kind of like and then Kevin, how is 2023 going for you? Okay, so this year is definitely one of the slowest years I've traded in. So I definitely took a lot of less trades than I did last year. Um, I mean, even last year I would say was not the most exciting, also, right? But then last year was like when I discovered penny stocks, so that kind of got me through the year. This year, like even the penny stocks are like we're dry. So I mean, I think I am up still like a quarter mil or something like that. I haven't checked actually, but yeah, I should be up at least like a quarter mil on the year so far. Okay, but yeah, definitely this was one of the slowest years. I mean, you've seen this open house so far. I mean, it sucks. Like we don't. I wish it was more active. I wish we were all making money. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those times right now that's just not the most exciting. But it will pass, and as long as we can stay disciplined and not overtrade and just I think that's one of the things I learned a lot about myself this year is patience, because 2021 me would probably be forcing a lot of trades and still trading the same number of trades I probably would have traded last year. But this year I really learned, um, something I learned is patience. And then Dolliker, if you could not do the in-person course, what course subscription would you recommend with total hindsight? Okay, so if you're not going to do the mentorship, you could always do the pristine method. Okay, so that's a course that Sami has available to buy, which is all the fundamentals that you need to know, and then the advanced gap strategy course, which is the gap strategy. So those two, is a must. So I would do that. Okay, and then Alan 4:30. So 4:30 East West Coast time. So Knight, what was your initial capital? You started with 30K. I think I mentioned that. And then LW, what would you do without Sami? Uh, I don't know. That's yeah. I I wouldn't be here without Sami. Yeah, Yulia, right? Yeah, penny stocks uh, was nice last year. Um, okay, so Daniel, some to Washington State zero. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll shoot me an email. Gabriel, being a fairly new trader, I plan to research more into dealing with how taxes work. Any tips? Also, how do day traders deal with wash sale rules? So, I mean, yeah, the taxes stuff, like I'm pretty bad at it too. Like I have no idea how what any of it means. But, I have a good CPA, like he's a day trader himself, so I just rely on him to just guide me and tell me what to do. So I highly suggest you just find a CPA that is familiar with the day trading side of it, um, and then just work with him or her. Okay, and then Bill, E Trade is going after it. Okay, and then LW. Okay, when you first started. Okay, what would you say your best scalping with what would you say is your best scalping with an example? Like what was my best trade, Bill? So actually my best, I think, um that I have to show, you can go on my YouTube channel and I forget what the title is, but it's something to do with penny stock. And I think I made $13,000 just that one trade, just that one scalp, risking 500 bucks. So it should be somewhere on my channel. So that would be an example, and I show you in detail like where I got in, how I got out, and what I would look for, things like that. Okay, but that was a penny stock though. But yeah, that's one I can show you or watch. Eric, would you say your scalping works on most market conditions? No. So scalping is not something, just like any other strategy, it's all going to depend on the environment, what's working, what's not working. So that's the tricky part of trading, because you're going to have someone, yes, like one time, if you look at back at 2020 during the pandemic, yeah, everybody made money, right? But the following year, how many of those people were able to keep that money? I mean, my uncle, like he made probably um, almost 2 million, I think he said, during that year, 2020. Following year, he lost it all. So it's trying. That's the thing. Like you got to know what's working, what's not working. The market is very dynamic, right? I always compare it with the ocean. So it's something we cannot control. So whether you're, surfing or scuba diving or whatever it is, yachting, right? Depending on the market conditions, some things are going to be more better to do than the others, some activities. Okay. And then Daniel, bacon wrapped shrimp. That's my favorite food at the buffet. Then Mill, can you please show us an example later on the management plan? Yes. Just remind me when I get on the mic. And then Kay Healy, what portion of your yearly gains are swing versus day trading? So day trading is where I get most of my um, gains from. Okay. So I would say probably like 75% is probably from day trading. And then Delaker, did you make money swinging positions? What part of not of the 20? So 250. So the amount I'm saying is all only day trading. Okay, so this is not including swing trading or my other business stuff. The only thing I'm talking about here is yeah, day trading. And then DC, how does the depth of content differ from your YouTube channel and the mentorship program? So yeah, I mean, I would never, I think, put out like 100% of everything I know on YouTube, just because, I mean, number one, I don't want everybody to know like the strategy, right? Because then it might not work anymore. So there's that. So I think, I mean, with the mentorship, yeah, it doesn't even poke a needle to what you're going to learn at the mentorship versus on my channel. Okay. And then Lars, do you increase risk size or use leverage when the market is in a strong trend? So I may not increase risk size, but actually I have done that. So during the pandemic at 2020, so I raised it from 200 to 250 because things were working so well. And then I ended up dropping back down to 200. But yes, I have done that, but I haven't done it since though. So I mean, I may not increase risk size, but I may like build my position up, right? So that's what I may do. Jeff BlackRock. Okay, some news. And then Daniel, do you do bar by bar analysis constantly, or are you most focused on context and overall picture when you're watching price action? So, do you do bar by bar analysis, or do you more focus on context? Yeah, it's just overall picture, right? I'm looking at multiple time frames. I like to look at the 1 minute, 2 minute, 5, 15, hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly. So when I'm scanning, I may see a pattern that I like, and I get that symbol, and then I throw it onto my multiple time frames, and then I look at the full picture. We always want to look at the full picture, right? And then Stefan, what's your risk parameter per trade? So I risk $500 per trade at the moment. I do want to increase it though. Yeah, DNA. You see the DNA breaking down, and the Vive worked also. The Vive. Oh, you guys can't see my screen. All right. Okay, we'll do Gabriel, last question here. Maybe are the strategies taught the type that's better, or wait, are the strategies taught the type that's better if less people know about it? Because some strategies, more people know about it, becomes more self-fulfilling policy and becomes more successful somehow. I guess that's true too. But I mean, yeah, I mean, no, I mean, this us here, we're not going to be changing, yeah, anything. But I'm just saying, like, as free content to put out on YouTube, I rather not do that, right? But yeah, the thing you're going to learn here, I mean, it's the beauty of it is that we're not learning one strategy. I mean, you're going to get the full package. We're going to learn I mean, the climactics, the chart trades, the scalping, the late afternoon breakouts, the swing trading, the earnings plays. I mean, there's so many things we can um, have in our arsenal to use whenever. That it should be good. Okay, Ryan, can you explain your tier system? Tier system? Are you referring to the gaps? Like how I rate my gaps? Yeah, no problem, Gabriel. If so, we probably need the rest of the day to kind of go through that. Um, okay, and then Iman, do you recommend going through all the courses given with the mentorship first, or going in blind so that we enter on a blank slate? No, I mean, definitely. So when I first took the mentorship, I mean, it was recommended that I watch the TPM. So I did kind of run through that, just to know what I was going to be expecting at the mentorship. So yeah, definitely. I mean, just soak in as much of the information as possible. Okay. Elias, when are you opening your fund? Yeah, I mean, I do get asked. I mean, friends and family always ask, like, can I just give you the money and you just trade? But I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know how that would work, but I don't think I would feel comfortable also. All right. Any last questions? I think that is gonna do it. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Yeah, thanks, Daniel. Oh, thanks, Monica. Yeah, appreciate everyone for listening. Um, and yeah, I mean, again, there's a few spots left, so if you want to um, join the mentorship, we will be here. Okay. So let's take a short break, or I'm not sure exactly when Sammy will be on, but I will talk to you all again later. And if you have any more questions, I can always answer them later too. Okay. And then also remind me for the management plan. I'll go look for it right now on my computer. Okay. Oh, thanks, Amber, Monica. Yeah, and shout out to them. I mean, they're always helping us out and keeping things in order. So really appreciate it. All right. Yeah, 30-minute break and talk to you later. Thanks, everyone.